to be using 2 palettes today. They're from Juvia. So I'm in the Warrior palette from Juvia, and I'm also in the Saharian by Juvia. Okay, so we're going to see what we can create with this. And no contacts today, so I'm going to be coming in a little close to you all so I can see. So of course I'm going to go with my transition color, going with a little brown, and I'm just going to shape out the crease there at the top and just get some color down. Okay, I hope you all are doing well today. Happy Sunday to you all, even if you are not watching this on Sunday. I did post a video. Actually, the last 2 videos were of me singing. So just sharing a little worship with you all, hoping that it blesses you, and or just at least offering you some encouragement, if you know, in the least. But yeah, so I'm just focusing on building this color. I'm literally lightly tapping into my color, like literally just tapping, and I'm actually tapping the brush to remove any excess, because I just don't want it too super dark, but I do want something there to start me off. So yeah, and yet again, I have no idea how this is all going to take place. I'm just going with the flow, just using some colors to try to contrast with what I'm wearing. I have on red Air Force Ones, and I have on this here, so I always feel like red goes with leopard or cheetah or whatever you want to call this. So I'm going to incorporate that into the look, form of red, not really true deep red. So anyway, I went into the brown in the Warrior palette. I might come back and touch a little bit more brown later. I may or may not, but for now, I'm just going to put this palette to the side, back behind me, and I'm going to work in the Saharian by Juvia. Okay, and so the colors that I'm going to be in today, let's see here. I want to do the wodaba, which is this color right here. It looks kind of gold, but it almost has like a hint of green in it, just a teeny bit. And then I'm going to use red. That almost looks pink, but it's more red than pink. It has a little bit of tinge of orange in the red. And then I also want to use this Senegal color right here. So I'm just going to start with the wodaba. I think I'm saying that right. And I'm just going to use that to blend out that brown. Okay. And I'm placing these colors, these first 2 colors, in the same area, kind of like outlining that. And more, once I start getting into the colors, you see how where I did with the brown, I went to here. I didn't go all the way down in here, but now I'm going to take the color and I'm going to come down into the corners. Okay. And I'm being mindful to lift my eye like that so it can stretch it out. And I'm just blending that color on down. Man, I tell you. So we haven't gone back to actual church as far as going in a building, but if you ask me, I think for us, those days are kind of, I don't want to say over, but for now, I'm good with virtual church, you know. But I tell you what, Bishop T.D. Jakes himself is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to preaching the word. But he had a guest pastor, I believe it was, well, I'm just going to say Pastor Phillips because I don't remember his first name. And sorry if you hear my neighbors. They're in the hallway. But anywho, but his message was the point of contact. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, if you have a chance to go to Bishop T.D. Jakes' YouTube page and watch that message, it is absolutely amazing. And it's literally just talking about now with this pandemic, you know, things going on, how we need to start looking at it as a point of contact for our next dimension. Our next, God is really using these times to shape our very destiny, and literally pulling us up out what we used to know into a place where it's seemingly uncomfortable, because it is. It's uncomfortable to see people die. It's uncomfortable to see people go through. It's uncomfortable to see people lose their jobs and loved ones through sickness. But even in these times, God is using it, what the enemy meant for evil, for good, and showing us his blessings, and his miracles in these times. So don't be deceived. God is not mocked. God has not forgotten us. He's not removing his hand from us. If we have become separated from God, it's because we've separated from him. He is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. So just keep that in mind and keep hope alive to know that this too shall pass. And in the midst of it, don't be passed by in your dreams and the things that God has for you. Keep pressing towards the things that God has showed you, what it is that he needs for you to do. Because trust me, in this very time, he's going to reveal it to you. And even the thing that we may say, like, oh, this doesn't look right, it just might be. So hold on. And that's what I've gotten from the word today. And I'm just like, man, it really blew me away. And I mean, I've already been seeing the manifestation of what God has been doing in my life through me being more upfront and not being afraid to speak up and use my voice for God in this manner, and YouTube and all of social media and my podcast and all those things like that. I believe I'm a mouthpiece for God, and I don't necessarily go with all the titles and, oh, she's a prophet, she's a this, she's a that. I am a mouthpiece and a servant for God is what I am. And I truly believe that Jesus died for my sins, and he died for my sins, and he took the keys to death, hell, and the grave, and he is risen. He rose from the dead. He is seated at the right hand of his Father, but he said, I will not leave you comfortless. And he did not leave us comfortless, y'all. He sent the Holy Spirit. And that's who was in us. That is who is indwelling in us. That who has the power to help us overcome all these things that we need to overcome. Going into the next color while I'm talking. But I'm telling you, now is the time for us to call on the Holy Spirit and allow him to work in our life like never before, and allow him to show us the things that we need to do, And I just feel like, in this season, there's so many blessings that are happening because people, what they at this time we're all searching, and if in a late or earlier part of this time, it felt like we were scrambling, but he said that he that have a word to hear the word, in the church, let them hear. Let them hear. Let's hear what God is saying. And I've said this before. We have to be in the right frequency to hear what God has to say, because he's speaking. God never changes. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And so if he said, I'll be with you always, that means he'll be with us always, even into the ends of time. So we just have to get into a spot where we can hear him and hear the direction and be obedient. Sometimes it means going at it alone, and I mean, sometimes you may lose friends, you may lose followers, you may lose fans, but I'd rather lose it all, whoever, just to be with God, if that's what it takes. And I say that's not an easy thing to do, but I say that because ultimately when we do leave this earth, we're going to be with him anyway. If that's what you believe, that's what I believe. I'm not here to offend anyone, but I'm also not here to dumb down what I believe, to impress or to shield, myself from what anybody has to say about it. I said what I said, love you, but I love God, and I love everything about him and everything that he's ever done for me and everything that he's going to do and things that he's doing right now, So be encouraged. Don't be afraid to let your light shine so that God will be glorified in your life, because when he's glorified, we can't be God-given. Trust me. He is a loving Father. He's going to make sure you have everything that you need and more, So I'm going back in and I'm applying that first color. Well, actually the second color back in, make sure I haven't lost it. And I think I am going to go back in the brown. So, and I still haven't gotten to the red yet. And which is why I want to add a little bit more of the brown, because I think I'm going to add it in between where the brown is and this color and just kind of blend out those two colors with the red. I think that's what I want to do. We'll see if it works. It may or may not work. But we're going to rock with it today, right? But like I said, just be encouraged, don't fret. This time, the times that we are going through is, the enemy would love to have your faith. He would love to see you quit. He would love to see you cave in, and more than anything, that's not what we're supposed to do. And also, we have to forget those things that are behind us. Those old things are passed away, and behold, all things are made new. God is doing a new thing in our lives. He's trying to get us away from our theologies and those things that we think are the right way, and introducing us to something that's always been in the inside of us. But if he doesn't allow pressure to be applied to certain situations in our life, we would never change. So this opportunity is an opportunity to allow God to intervene in our weak areas. And he said, when you are weak, I am made strong. So I'm just hanging on to that. Hanging on to God's unchanging hand, hanging on to his word like never before in this season, because I don't know what the next step is. I just know that the visions that God have laid before me, I can't ignore them any longer. I can't ignore them. I can't allow what my situation looks like to thwart what God has for me in the future. And if that means I be made look a fool, so be it. If it means I got to turn this camera on and only one person looks at the video, so be it. Yes, I'm doing makeup, but I'm also talking about God. I'm also talking about encouragement. I'm also talking about chasing your dreams. And guess what? I don't have all my dreams answered. I don't have all the steps laid out that I can see. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I have tunnel vision. You know what I mean? I may see something that I want, but God is telling me to look this way. But I'm so blinded by what's in front of me that I miss the step. I miss the mark. I'm human. We're all going to miss the mark sometimes. But God is a loving Father, and he gives us chance after chance after chance. I'm going to go on with the red right here, ever so slightly. But he gives us chance after chance after chance, to make things right. And that is the beauty of God and his loving kindness and his forgiveness. And yeah, so that is the message for today. I love you, and I want you to be blessed and be encouraged. And know that you can do anything that you put your mind to that is in God's will for your life. And think about it. If it's a desire that you have, most assuredly God has given it to you. Because he's given us a measure of faith to do the things that he needs us to do, right? Ooh, that was so loud. But, so if that's the case, that means I don't have to be afraid. That means I can go after those things that scares me. I can go after those things that scares me and accomplish my wildest dreams because it's in me to do it. I can post a video in my vulnerability, worshiping God and singing, which is one of the most things that I love to do, and I believe I can sing, but I also have to get out of my mind of what other people may think about it. Who cares? Who cares? It'll touch someone, right? I think I'm going to add a whole bunch of this red up in here. I don't know. Yeah, I'll make it work. I'll blend it out with a different brush too. But yeah, so this is what this is looking like. So I think I said enough for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, blend a little bit of this out. You've seen me do my foundation, or not my foundation. Well, you've seen me do my foundation too. You've seen me do my primer, which I've already done. But I am introducing a new foundation today. So I will be back in just a moment after I've gone ahead and blended that out. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put on my eyeliner and all that stuff like that. And I'll be back. Okay. So I decided to wait on my eyes. I'm going to come back and go ahead and do my foundation because I want to do the foundation, and I also want to go ahead and do my concealer afterwards. But I tested this and I didn't record. So this is actually Juvia's Place. It's a foundation and it looks really, really light, right? So this is the color Grenada. And it's so tricky trying to purchase a foundation online without being able to test it, right? But I think it's pretty cool. And I'm actually going to use a contour stick from Farmasi. So these two colors is what I'm mixing. It's almost got like a little bit of pinkish, brownish, I don't know what you want to call it. That's what it looks like on camera. But these two I mixed together and it worked out pretty good. So we're going to try it again. And so I literally just went in and just made some marks on my face. So it looks crazy, but this is what I did the other day just to get my foundation on, right? And then in between that is where I went with this. So I didn't do it all over. I just kind of did like little marks everywhere, maybe little blemishes here and there. Use that to kind of add some dimension. So I try to like put it in the same spots, but you know. So anyway, let's go ahead and see what that does. And I'm using a blender. I did not dampen this the last time, but I think I'm going to dampen it just a little bit. It's a brand new fresh one, so I'm just going to put like a little squirt on there and see what that does. And I'm using my Be Fit. I think they're going to discontinue this from the Farmasi line, but they do have a time locker spray that's basically the same thing. So I am going to just dampen it just a teeny bit and begin to get this into my skin. Okay. So let's see how that works. And I'm going to look this way too, because I have a mirror over here, just so I can make sure I'm getting it in. So, and I normally do this to get it in, but I find that with this foundation, I have to kind of like smooth it in, you know. So I'm still pressing it in, but I'm kind of like pressing and wiping down, pressing and wiping down. So if you guys are professional out there, let me know if that's the best way to do this, because I don't know, but I just have to do what works for me. So, yep. So I'm getting that color on in. And of course, I'm going by my ears, going by my hairline, going on my neck, going on down with the product. So, and the other day I did use a finishing powder as well. So we'll see. When I used the finishing powder though, it made it seem a little too dark. And I think what I did wrong is I sprayed my face beforehand, which I think that's okay, but I probably should have let it dry down just a teeny bit before putting that powder right on. So we'll see. And like I said, this is just all experiments, you know. I'm not perfect at this in the least. So if it looks crazy, you know, we can always try again. But this is how I applied the foundation stick before. And I don't think it looks too bad so far with those blend of colors. But I will say though, I don't necessarily think this is full coverage. Unless I'm not applying it right. I don't think it's full coverage because I can still see, you know, dark spots and stuff. But hey, we gonna work with it. So going to get this up all up in here. And of course, if I feel like I need a little more, I can always put a little more on, you know. And I still haven't used my concealer yet. So let me do a look at that. Now, how does that look to y'all? Let me know. Does that look crazy? So let me look a little close. I mean, it looks pretty good. looks pretty good. Looks like it's my color, but as you can see, I'm like super light right here and then dark right here. So I don't know. I don't know that it's the perfect match, but we gonna rock with it. Okay, we are going to rock with it. Yep, get that on in. And then I'm going to use my concealer. And this is, of course, from the Farmasi Full Coverage Concealer. And I've noticed that the Juvia's liner that I've been using, it kind of gets smeared when I line my eyes first. So I'm going to line my eyes afterwards. So that's why I'm doing that. I still haven't mastered the whole contouring piece either. But yeah, I'm going to do what I know, what I believe works. I'm going to come in here with the point and drag that across. Make sure I'm dragging it down. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So like I said, you guys have seen me do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this blended in. And then now I will come back with my eyes lined. And yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, so I got one eyelash on halfway and I got my hair out. I went ahead and left this front flat twist in and just kind of tucked it behind my ear and just picked out the rest of my hair. So I think that's going to be the hairstyle for today. Just wearing my own hair. Okay. I've had to cut my hair a lot because of the psoriasis and all the medication and stuff that I have to use for it. And I might insert a picture in here to let you see my hair before I got it cut. It looks so bad, y'all. I went to one of the hair schools and let the girls cut it for me. This is not, oh, it's sticking. But I had to cut my hair, y'all, because it was really bad. And I mean, it was literally like longer on this side, shorter on that side. So anyway, yeah, I might insert a picture so you can see my hair. But yeah, so this one is sticking. I didn't put no glue on it yet, but it's there to show how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna put some glue on these bad boys and I'm gonna stick them on. And then we are going to get into the finished look of it all when I get back. So I shall be back. Alrighty. So far this is what everything is looking like. I got my eyelashes on. I think those look cute. Just with the foundation that I use from Juvia's and and this is just like their stick cream foundation, and from the Farmasi, I don't even want to know what you call it, contour stick or whatever. So that's all that I have on my actual skin, except for I did spray myself down with this. So I did go ahead and spray. I didn't use any highlight today, so I think that looks pretty decent. So, and I was going to use the finishing powder, but I might, you know what, I might do it because I've noticed that when I do use the finishing powder, my foundation stays a lot better throughout the day. So we'll see. But let's do the lips first. So this is just my handy dandy Wet n Wild. The name is coming off, but it's a Wet n Wild liner that I got, I think, from Walgreens or something. So just gonna line my lips. Okay, and then I'm gonna get into my Superstar. And this is from Farmasi. And I do have my link in the description. If you're interested in getting some products from me, you can go right to my link. Or you can, you know, message me and I can assist you with that. So this is not exactly red, but I love this color. So I'm gonna let that dry down for just a second, and I'm gonna take it one step further. Now, honestly, with these eyelashes, I really do need to be wearing contacts, but since I got my nails done, it's hard to get them back out. My nails are cute, by the way. um, yeah, it's kind of hard. So I bought one of these little contact squeegee things or whatever from Amazon. I'm waiting for it to come. It hasn't come. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Juvia's. What is this called? It's called electric. It's electric. And I'm gonna put that on top. Man, it's like glass. It's so pretty as far as like the shine. So anyway, that is the finished look. I think it's pretty cute. What do y'all think? So that's the finished look. And again, like I said, I hope you've been encouraged today by some of the words that I've been talking about. And yeah, so be blessed. Bye.